And just on the topic of metal, like, did you also listen to like the power metal bands, like talking about dragons and fighting all those mythical creatures and whatever? Like, I know it's in the metal community, you know, power metal and whatever, it's kind of looked down upon, but
Yeah, if we're talking, like, I got my start listening to whatever hard rock was on the radio. So Poison, Def Leppard. I'm still a huge Def Leppard fan.
yeah,
Guns N' Roses, Skid Row, and it got hard. The taste in music got harder. So we shifted from that to Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer. Later on, some death
yeah,
metal. But I eventually did discover like Manowar and Dragon Force, which, that they're kind of recent within the past 10, 20 years or so. But
yeah.
yeah, I like when those power metal bands, especially Warlock, when I discovered Warlock, I was like, this is like Dungeons and Dragons in musical form. I love this shit. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I did. I discovered those bands. Any band that had a fan. I'll put it to you this way. Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell 2 was very tempting to
Mhm.
buy at one point, but he musically he wasn't really my style. So I heard him and I was like, okay, I'll take a pass on that. It's not really my thing. But he did have some amazing album covers and drawn by these
Yeah,
fantasy artists, like Frank
yeah.
Frazetta, Boris Vallejo, just great
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I was just thinking that, back in the day when you still had to go by how the album cover looked like or how badass the name sounded.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have YouTube or any of those torrent sites or whatever where you just listen to a
Oh
song
no,
or
not at
just
all.
download something, and if you don't like it, well, you don't like it and you delete it. Like, if you bought an album, you were stuck with it. Like, it was hit or
Yeah.
miss.
Yeah. Like I'll be honest with you, typo like my friend's taste got harder. Mine
Mhm.
got darker. So I like they went off into like 6 Feet Under and Cannibal Corpse, and I love those bands too.
Yeah,
Napalm
yeah,
Death was
yeah,
another one of my favorites.
yeah.
Um but they were into like Pantera and those kinds of bands. And don't get me wrong, I was too. But I veered off into like Marilyn Manson and of course, anything that became taboo to the fundamentalists in my area, I was like, that's what I want to go for. You make it taboo, I'm going to make it my source of entertainment. So I went toward like Marilyn Manson and oh man, who else? Like White Zombie, Rob Zombie,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
Typo Negative. Typo Negative actually kind of had to grow on me a little bit. Sisters of Mercy did. Cradle of Filth was that was instant to me. I love that.
Mhm.
Black Funeral. I was actually listening to black metal before I understood what the hell it was. I didn't know. Like, I thought these
Yeah,
were just underground death metal bands. I had no idea. I was like, why is that dude screaming at the top of his
I
voice? Jeez. And
I can
then someone
I can
finally
see how you
explained to me
would.
what the difference was.
Yeah, no, I can see how you would think that. So your first experience with the kind of punishment for playing Dungeons and Dragons and just going against it, that really became a staple for you, just fighting against the
Yeah.
establishment. And
Well,
like, if they
it
tell me
wasn't,
not to, I am.
yeah, well, what it was they told me no for so long and they made all
Hmm.
these claims. And then I discovered they were lying. And,
Yeah,
and then it clicked and it said, I was like, okay, well, if they're lying to me about this, what else are they lying to me about? And that's when every time they made something taboo, I was like, need to check that out. Thanks for the recommendation. So,
yeah,
um, when I saw something freakish and weird on something like MTV, I was like, I might want to check that out before they ban it. And I
back when
always
they
would.
actually have music.
Oh yeah, like I actually found Marilyn Manson before the fundamentalists did. The
Oh.
fundamentalists found out about him around like Antichrist Superstar and Smells Like
Mm.
Children. I found him at Portrait of an American Family. So I I was like, That's something I need to check out before they put the ban hammer down on it. And believe it or not, it was just one of our friends in one of our neighborhoods brought something like this over, which is one of these little box sets, and we laid it out and we played it, and I was like, this is a game of mythological heroes and villains, good overcoming evil, having to use your mind in order to keep your ass alive. Where's the problem? And some of the claims were so ridiculous, like, well, one time we took one of these little miniatures and threw it into a fire, and you could hear the soul that was trapped inside screaming, and I'm like,
makes for a good scary story, and
when you don't know any better, it makes for a great scary story.
Sure,
but by the time you know better, you're just like, you can't have a PhD and be this fucking retarded. Are you kidding me? So,
well, if you look at
really,
people nowadays,
right? But the taboo is what ended up becoming the draw, because they spent so much time lying that I was like, there's no way this can be real.